Here we go. Final version. Well, not quite the final version, but there you can go. All set up, ready. Sheets, book, that. Oh, actually, I record all my notes in there. Hello everyone, it's John from Brisbane and I'm talking For Against Darkness. And as I've been posting and a few people have taken some interest in, I'm creating a screen due to the fact that I got nothing better to do with my time except wait for the Reaper, and I just like to fiddle, you know. Unfortunately I've only got, well, okay, so how I've created the charts and that is essentially I've just print screened the documents from the booklets and I've incorporated them into a Word document. So I'm using Word 97. So that shows you how old my word processor is. 21 years old and it's still doing good for its day. So I've just melded them all in together, and they all, you know, nicely stack up, and they've been done to the right size to be able to fit into what I'm about to show you. So yeah, so I was going, geez, I really would like to be able to set everything up and be able to play. And consequently, I found that I had a whole heap of, don't ask me where I got them from. I don't even know why I've got multiple copies of this thing floating around, but you know, it's quite a nice screen. Obviously, me playing it, it's not going to see the other side, but on the other side, of course, is where all the stuff will be. So, you know, I've got the dungeon rooms on one side, and I've only using paper clips at the moment until I suppose I've come to a final decision as to how I'm going to present, or to, you know, unless I can, you know, if somebody can point out to me a good, pardon me, free domain or public domain publishing tool for Windows 10 that doesn't require, you know, a massive processor to run, because I'm only running a HP laptop, so you know, my processing capacity is extremely small. I think it's only a 4 gigabyte RAM or something like that. I can't remember my knowledge, but what I've done is that I have broken them into two sections. So when I essentially play the base game, is that it's got the, obviously the room generator is going to be the same, and what I've done is that I've included the For Against Darkness and the Fiendish Foes, because I think they both more or less, to me, they go together. So I've included pardon me, both of them into here. So I've laminated them, and they will now, with the flowchart that tells me everything, nicely fit pardon me, into this. So, you know, I'll play the base game until such time as I'm ready to move on beyond Fiendish Foes. And then, of course, I've now done the pardon me, we've had a change in weather and it's suddenly decided that a little bit of winter's still going to stay. So what I've done is I've just basically gotten all the charts, done them out. They nicely come. The only problem is that this chart here now is flapping in the breeze, and for some reason my phone is refusing to autofocus. Come on, phone. Thank you. There we go. Something was happening. And so there we go. That's floating off on its own because everything else will nicely fit into the slots. So, but you know, at this stage, it's, you know, I'm just constantly coming up with, I suppose, new ideas how to sort of incorporate, you know. So the next thing, of course, is I'll look at some of Eric's work, so the Netherworld and some of those, to see how, you know, a little screen so nicely pop up, because I just like that ease that everything's arrayed in front of me, so that, you know, the books, I love them, but, you know, having to leaf through them, and as everybody's seen and everybody seems to like, you know, my final production seems to be fairly well received. So thank you very much, everybody, for your supportive comments. I'm quite appreciative of that. So that's where I stand at the moment. I see Andrea had a look at the concept of, you know, trying to get it printed, and I must admit I looked at that myself. I think the biggest card, just from a standard printing house, I think might be just unless you go to a specialist, is I think A1. Is A1 or is it A3? I can't remember. But one of those. It does go to a large size, and you can get, you know, fairly reasonable thickness GSM stock card printed. So I'll have a fiddle and a play around with whether or not that's a viable option, but, you know, that's what I was thinking about. But as always, I'm always looking at ways of tinkering and playing around, and, you know, for the people from Ganesha Games, look, thank you very much for such a wonderful game. It's keeping an old man entertained, so thank you very much. For everybody who's, you know, looking and watching at what I do and have provided support, look, thank you very much. It means something to me, and I do appreciate that. So anyway, it's, oh my goodness, it's nearly 7 o'clock Australian time in the evening. It's getting chilly. My dog's probably wondering where I am. So good night, everyone. Well, it's good night from me. It's good night from him. Sorry, that's if anybody knows the two Ronnies. No? All right, shows my age. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Signing off, the Honourable John.